Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Norshaza Shahira binti Khaizir and I'm from BA 2322C. So now I'm gonna present about my part, which is introducing a HRM of safety and health and creating a culture of safety. Employee health is the state of well-being. It not only includes physical well-being, but also mental and emotional well-being. Given their responsibility for people, culture, and associated policies and procedures, human resource management plays a critical role in supporting workplace health and safety. The points made in OSHA's Be Safe plus Sound Management Leadership Guide are particularly relevant to HR management and include: first, making worker safety and health a core organizational value, eliminating hazards, protecting workers, and continuously improving workplace safety and health. Thirdly, providing sufficient resources to implement and maintain the safety and health program. Visibly demonstrate and communicate the safety and health commitment to workers and others. Occupational health and safety is a cross-disciplinary area concerned with protecting the safety, health, and welfare of people engaged in work or employment. The goal of all occupational health and safety programs is to foster a safer environment. As a secondary effect, it may also protect co-workers, family members, employers, customers, suppliers, nearby communities, and other members of the public who are impacted by the workplace environment. It may involve interactions among many subject areas, including occupational medicine, occupational or industrial hygiene, public health, safety engineering, chemistry, and health physics.
Hi, my name is Sitina Shahira binti Khaide. So I will continue the presentation with the point of safety and health of the law in OSHA. What is OSHA? So OSHA stands for Occupational Safety and Health, 1994, 540, and to make further provision for securing the safety, health, and welfare of persons at work, for protecting others against risks to safety and health in connection with the activities of persons at the workplace, to establish the National Councils for Occupational Safety and Health and for matter connection therewith. Other than that, OSHA will ensure safe and healthful working conditions for workers by setting and enforcing standards and by providing training, outreach, education, and also assistance. Next is OSHA coverage. So the OSHA coverage, it covers most private sector employers and their workers, in addition to some public sector employers and workers in the 50 states and certain territories and jurisdiction under federal authority. Next is OSHA standard. OSHA standards are rules that describe the method that employers must use to protect their employees from hazards. They are OSHA standards for construction work, maritime operations, and general industry, which is the set that apply the most work site. These standards limit the amount of hazardous chemicals workers can be exposed to, require the use of certain safe practices and equipment, and require employers to monitor hazards and keep record of workplace injuries and illness.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. To my beloved lecturer Dr. Sakinah Maksin. My name is Nurul Fahani binti Nuzaimi from BA 2322C. My metric number is 2021-132005. Thank you, Shira. Now I will talk about responsibility and right under OSHA. There are two responsibility and right under OSHA, which is employers and employees' responsibility and right. First, I will talk about the meaning of responsibility and right under OSHA. Responsibility and right under OSHA is employers have the responsibility to provide a safe workplace. Employers must provide their workers with a workplace that does not have serious hazards. Both employers and employees have certain responsibility and right under OSHA. Employers' responsibility and right. There are three employers' responsibility and right. First is employers' responsibility must provide a workplace free from recognized hazard. Establishing a safe and healthful workplace requires every employer to make a safety and health a priority. In general, OSHA requires employers to maintain conditions and adopt practice reasonably necessary to protect workers on the job. This because it is the best strategy to control the hazard at its source. Second, provide training required by OSHA standard. Employers must also provide their workers with safety training and be prepared to discipline employees for failing to comply with safety rules. Many OSHA standards specifically require the employer to train workers in the safety and health aspect of their jobs. And the last one is keep record of injuries and illness. Record keeping is an important part of an employer's responsibilities. Keeping records allow OSHA to collect survey material, help OSHA identify high-hazard industry, and inform about the injury and illness at workplace. For example, employees must report each worker death. The circle of responsibility and right under OSHA is employees' responsibility and rights. There are two employees' responsibility, which is report hazardous condition to the employer and read the workplace safety and health poster at the job site. First, I will talk about report hazardous condition to the employer. Employees have the right and is encouraged to make a report of their unsafe or unhealthful working condition to an appropriate agency, safety and health official, and request an inspection of such workplace for this purpose. The last one is employees' responsibility and right under OSHA is read the workplace safety and health poster at the job site. Workers have a right to demand safe and healthy conditions on the job without fear of punishment. For example, federal law requires that employers provide information to employees about the hazardous chemicals that they handle. Now, I will pass to Dina to talk about how safety and health positively affect organizational performance.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Shadina Arisha binti Shahrizal, and now I'm going to present about the main point of this presentation, which is how employee safety and health practices positively affect the organizational performance. Firstly, there were three positive effects that will be discussed in this video, which are increase employees' morale in the organization, increase in the quality of the work performed by employees, and increase employees' productivity in the organization. In order to improve the organizational performance, it is compulsory for all organizations to practice the Occupational Health and Safety Management System. However, what is OHSMS? According to Gallagher 2001, it can be defined as the combination of planning and review management, organizational arrangement, the consultative arrangement, and the specific program elements that work together in an integrated way to improve health and safety performances. Firstly, the practices of employee safety and health in the organization will increase the employees' morale in the organization. Morale may be defined as an intangible concept that refers to how positive and supportive special feelings employees feel toward the organization, such as trust, faith in leadership, and organizational success. For instance, the organization should provide a training program regarding the company's safety management system. This kind of training program are able to give an opportunity to the employees to educate themselves on safety work procedures and practices during working. This training will help them identify and understand their role in the organization and practice it during working. With the training program, employees will feel happy and appreciated by the organization, and it will increase their morale in the organization. Next, the employee safety and health function practices will increase the quality of the work performed by employees. For example, basic equipment for employees are furniture, business printers, and ergonomic workstation for employees such as chairs and tables. With the good quality of the business printers, it will help employees perform better work performances. It can also help employees save time and energy during working. Furthermore, if the company purchases the low quality of furniture, it will increase additional costs because the company need to pay for the repair cost of any damages occur. With the ergonomic workstation, it can avoid employees from injured. This means that the company should ensure that all equipment in the company are safely designed and should be maintained every month. It will reduce the employees from being exposed to the danger in the work area. Hence, the practices of employee safety and health function will increase the quality of the work performed by employees. Lastly, the practices of employee safety and health in the organization will increase employees' productivity in the organization. Employees' productivity normally will support their organizational performances. The higher the productivity of the employees, the better their work performances will be. Employees will feel motivated to perform better if they feel safe and have good working environment. This is why it is important for organization to practice the OHSMS in the organization. It is often said that the safe work environment are profitable workplaces and safe workplaces can be considered as a productive workplaces. Next, I will pass the presentation to Anis Suraya.
Hi and Assalamualaikum. I am Anis Suraya binti Muhammad Marzuki. Today, I will talk about employees' safety and health. The scope of the health and safety program depends on the size of the business and the hazards at the particular workplace. Therefore, these are the steps to a safe work environment and will be the basic components of the health and safety program. The first one is create a plan for improving health and safety. As an employer, we must identify early on hazards that is available at our workplace and take every measure to eliminate them to create a safe workplace. Do develop a safety plan and always talk to employee about the safety of the workplace. The most important thing is make sure that every employee has access to the first aid kit in case of emergency. The next step is inspect the workplace. Do make sure to regularly conduct an inspection at the workplace to ensure that every equipment or tools are all well maintained and safe to use. Do not miss the storage area and always review the safe work procedures with the employee. The third step is training the employee. The employer could provide the employee with a written instruction and safe work procedure, and then they could also supervise them to ensure that they perform their job properly and safely. The fourth and the last step is to always maintain record on every activity or accident that occur at the workplace and always investigate the accidents that occur even though it is just small cases because the impact it causes may be big.
Next, creating a safety culture. A safety culture is an organizational culture that places a high level of importance on safety beliefs, values, and attitudes, and these are shared by most people within the company or workplace. It can be characterized as the way we do things around here. A positive safety culture can result in improved workplace health and safety and organizational performance. Companies that want to have a positive safety culture, which everyone owns, should develop and promote managers with the right knowledge, skills, and attitudes to successfully undertake the responsibilities of the safety. An organization's safety culture is ultimately reflected in the way that safety is managed in the workplace. A strong safety culture has a few characteristics in common, such as communication. Communication is most effective when it comprises a combination of top-down and bottom-up interaction. Senior management sets the strategic goals and a vision for the company's safety program. It is vital that all levels of management, which is senior, middle, or supervisor, communicate the strategy clearly to the workers who must carry out the company's mission. It is equally important that workers provide feedback on a practical level about what's working and what's not. Management need to listen, take that feedback seriously, and act on it, or workers will stop giving it. Furthermore, procedures. There should be documented clear procedures for every task. This is not only to prevent disagreements about what is required, it also shows commitment when things are put in writing. Procedures should be designed jointly by management and workers for practicality and to encourage improved cooperation, communication, and buy-in. Procedures should be reviewed periodically and updated as needed. Strong safety performance is a cornerstone of any business. When all these characteristics come together to create a best-in-class safety culture, everyone wins: fewer accidents, losses, and disruptions, improve employee morale, and increase productivity. So I think that's all from me. Thank you. Assalamualaikum.
Safety hazards and issues are the most common workplace risks. They include anything can cause spill or trip, such as car running across the floor or ice. Anything that can cause falls, such as walking from height, including ladders, scaffold, roof, or any elevated work area. The first issue is fatigue. It's mental or physical exhaustion that reduce your ability to perform your work safely and effectively. Signs of fatigue include tiredness, even after sleep, reduced hand-eye coordinations or slow reflex, short-term memory problem, and inability to concentrate. Secondly, workplace violence is any act or threat of physical violence, such as harassment, intimidations, or other threatening disruptive behavior that occurs at the work site. It ranges from threat and verbal abuse to physical assault and even homicide. For example, verbal abuse, harassment, threat, argument, property damage, vandalism, and sabotage. Last but not least are workplace emergencies. That is an unforeseen situation that threatens your employers, customer, or the public, disrupt or shut down your operations, or cause physical or environmental damage. For example, fire, flood, extreme heat waves. To pass to Farhani to continue the next point. Thank you.
Thank you, Shera, for explaining about safety, hazard, and issue. Now, I will explain about creating a healthy work environment. There are 3 ways to create a healthy work environment, which is ergonomic, health hazard and issue, and building better physical and emotional health among employees. I will talk about ergonomics. One way to help eliminate health hazard in the workplace is via ergonomics. What is ergonomic? Ergonomic focuses on ensuring that jobs are designed for safe and efficient work while improving the safety, comfort, and performance of users. For example, ergonomic is often used to create comfortable workstations for employees, such as customized desks and chairs that fit each individual body type. Now, I will pass to Dina to talk about health hazard and issue.
Thank you, Nurul Farhani. Now I will present the health hazard and issues. Before I start, what is hazard? A hazard is a source or situation which the potential of harm in terms of human injury or health, damage to property, damage to the environment, or a combination of these. In order to practice the safety and health in the organization, the employees need to identify the hazard in the workplace. Every workplace has hazard, and it is everyone's responsibility to be careful of hazard in the workplace to minimize risk of harm. And the common issues of the health hazard in the workplaces are cumulative trauma disorders and computer workstation issue. Firstly, for cumulative trauma disorder, CTD issue, CTD or cumulative trauma disorder is a term for various injuries of the muscles, nerve, ligaments, joints, spinal disc, and nervous system that are caused by repetitive movement, repeated stress, and strains. It is also known as repetitive motion injuries. One of the common conditions is carpal tunnel syndrome, which is characterized as can cause pain, numbness, and tingling in the hand and arm. Without ergonomics equipment for employees, the employees are likely to expose to the injuries and syndrome. This is why it is important for the company to provide the ergonomic equipment to the employees in the organization. Next, the computer workstation issue. The issue is about how the bad posture of employees can affect their safety and health, especially their eye and body during working and when using a computers. Video and computer screen are particular concern. This is because in the company, all employees need to work using computers for so many hours, and it is important for them to always practice a good posture during working. These are some tips to minimize the negative effects on computer use on eye and body. Firstly, place the computer screen 4 to 9 inches below eye level. And next, keep the monitor directly in front of you. Sit in an adjustable height chair with lower back support and with feet flat on the floor. Keep elbows close to body and supported. And lastly, place wrists and hands in line with the forearms. Next, I will pass this presentation to Anis Suraya.
The next topic that I will talk about is building better physical and emotional health among employees. We could build better physical and emotional health among employees through wellness and weight issues. The employer could organize a wellness program among the employees to make sure that all the employees are in a good health and stay fit even though they are busy with all of the workloads that they have to do. Next, job stress and burnout. Stress and burnout could lead to low health of mental health. So the employer could hold a counseling session among the employee to teach them on how to minimize the negative effects of job-related stress and burnout. Lastly, depression. Depression is a negative emotional state marked by feelings of low spirits, gloominess, sadness, and loss of pleasure in ordinary activities. So the employee should pay close attention to the employee's emotions because the emotional disturbance are the primary or secondary factors that lead to depression in the workplace.